Hello everybody and welcome to my first comic review. I am Rainbow Red Panda and as promised today we will be reviewing Fairy Quest Travelers. This is a 2-issue series. It originally started as a graphic novel that was released in 2009. It is by Humberto Ramos, which I probably butchered that, but I'm very sorry, and Paul Jenkins. Paul Jenkins originally started his little career doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cartoon, way back in the day, which I find that awesome because I have a friend in California who is working on the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon series, and now I just think about her whenever I think about Fairy Quest, and that makes me really happy. So, hi Jessica, thinking about you now. Something else that Paul Jenkins has done I think is really cool is that he worked on the Legacy of Kain video game series, which that is a 4-game series. It's from a while back, like 90s, early 2000s. There's 4 games, and I've loved that series. That's one of my favorite video game series. So I was really excited that he had a part in that. He's also did stuff for the original God of War. So if you like that original God of War game, Paul Jenkins. I keep calling him Peter Jenkins, but Paul Jenkins, he did that, so you have him to thank for that. Paul and Humberto got together on the Spider-Man. They worked on Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and then they worked on the Spectacular Spider-Man. Humberto went on later to do another Spider-Man project, but he worked on the Amazing Spider-Man for a little while, but now he's not doing any of that. Fairy Quest, like I said, came out in 2009, but the 2-part series that I have now, it came out in 2013, so it's very new. Same story, they just cut it into different parts and same pictures and everything. So it was put out by Boom, and I really like it. It's like completely different than what, I looked at it and just thought, oh, it's a story about Little Red Riding Hood. Well, no, it's not a story. It is a story about Little Red Riding Hood, but it's not the story of Little Red Riding Hood goes to grandmother's house. No, it's not that at all. The whole thing, if there was a catchphrase that sums up this whole thing, I have a little panda here. He's been holding this card. Isn't he cute? Okay. Keep your story straight. Do not deviate. It's my little thing. It's kind of also so I don't get off topic. I can just stare at my little panda and be like, okay, panda, I got this. And now I'm deviating. See, I'm breaking. Okay, Master Grimm is the mayor of Fablewood, which is where all of this stuff takes place. Fablewood is where all of the stories in the world live, whether it be like a children's story or some story about goblins or zombies. All of these live in Fablewood. And Master Grimm, over everybody. Every day, people tell the same stories. Like Little Red Riding Hood tells the same story. She goes to grandma's house, wolf eats grandma, all that. Huntsman, all that. Same story every single day. They have to be on time, exactly on the right time. If they're even 14 seconds fast or slow, they get a violation by the Think Police. I mean, come on. You have how boring would that be? Every single day you have to do every single thing that you do at the exact same time every day, no days off ever, because people tell stories every day. It's not like, oh, we're going to take a day off today so Little Red Riding Hood can have a break. No, that doesn't happen. You have to do it every single day at the exact same time, and it doesn't matter. And at night, at Fablewood, you can't go out and do anything, because, yeah, you're not having your story told, but that's when, the goblin stories are told, and, if you interrupt the goblin stories, and that's a horrible thing, too. So, Little Red Riding Hood, they just call her Red, and the Big Bad Wolf, who is just called Wolf, but Red Riding Hood actually just calls him Wolf, because they're friends. It's like a girl and her dog. They're friends. She feeds him every day. No one knows about this. It's secret because, heaven forbid, they know, because that would be a major violation. And once you, completely deviate from your story, or you think for yourself, thinking for yourself is bad. So if you think for yourself, or you defy the mayor or anything like that, you get put in what's called the mind eraser, which basically is a reset button for your brain. You go in there, and then you're back to the way you were whenever you were originated, and that doesn't sound like a fun time for me, I don't know. But Little Red Riding Hood, she's determined she's gonna get out of here. They actually have secret meetings in this the old woman who lived in a shoe, who had so many children she didn't know what to do, or whatever that story is. She has little secret meetings. It reminds me of like an Alcoholics Anonymous, or like one of those anonymous meetings, because like they all sit around in like this big secret group, like they're not supposed to be together, but they are, and they're like, Cinderella, whose name is just Cindy Ella, like, tell us your story. And they're just like, hi Cindy, and like she tells a story that she tells, and then Red Riding Hood tells her story about how her and the wolf are secretly friends, and everyone's shocked. And they're just like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. She's like, no, we have to get out of here. Like, there has to be a way that we can get out of Fablewood because it's horrible here. And one of the dwarves, I believe, I'm guessing his story is like Snow White, but I'm not really sure because his name isn't a name that I recognize at all. But we're just going to say that he's one of the 7 dwarves from Snow White. He heard a story in the mines about this place called Real World, which whenever you say that I just think of the MTV reality show. So I just picture these comic book characters wanting to go and be on MTV, but I don't think that's really what they're picturing. But in real world, everything, you can do whatever you want and everything's fantastic. So she decides she wants to go to real world. Well, their little meeting kind of turned into a bad thing because Cindy Ella got caught. She gave everybody up. And so now Red Riding Hood and Mr. Wolf are on the run. That's kind of where the story ends. They're on the run. Mr. Wolf gets them over the fence of Fablewood, which is, I guess they don't really ever leave. Even the mayor, he never really leaves Fablewood, so outside of the fence they think they'll be safe. And then it kind of just ends with them being stuck in a cage with someone, like scavengers, being like, who are you? And that's just kind of where it ends. But it's a really interesting story. Like, it's not your typical, like, fairy tale or anything like that. Like, it looks like, oh, Red Riding Hood, but really it's not. I really like it, and I know a lot of guys that would really like it, and I know a few guys that have read it, and they really like it. So, and I mean, it was written by people that have written, like, Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that, so that's not really girly-ish, so I don't think they're gonna just write a complete, like, chick comic book. It's not what it is, I promise. So, if you want to check it out, a lot of comic stores do sell it. Like, I was in Memphis a few weeks ago, and they had it on the shelves, but I had to special order it at my shop, so if your shop doesn't carry it, you can still order it, and if for some reason it's unavailable, I'm sure that you can get it online, or you can just order the novel. That works too. So I would highly recommend it. I'm going to do another review eventually of the second one, so I'm going to do them separately because I like them both, and I really want to just do 2, and because I knew this would be a long thing, because I really like it. Fairy Quest. This is the wolf, and then Red Riding Hood, and Master Grimm's right here, and then there's just random little, give you like little thing, like, I don't even know. It starts off, you know, they're telling the story, little kid and his mom telling the story of Red Riding Hood, but that's just kind of where it ends. Like, it starts off as typical Red Riding Hood, but then it ends there. Like, she feeds the wolf a bone, and then later on they talk about eating meatballs together. Like, that's not your typical story. So I recommend it. That's all I can really say is I love this book, and I really think that everybody should read it. So that's all I have. That was my first review. I hope you guys all liked it. If you did, be sure to push the little thumbs up button on the channel. You can also subscribe, leave a comment, any of that stuff. I have a Facebook page now. If you guys want to just go to Facebook and type in Comic Time, it has a little fan page or whatever you want to call it, so you can like that. I'm on Twitter. You can follow me. The link is below, and it's gonna be below for that too. It's not required though. Like, it's just whatever. I'm not that interesting on Twitter, but if you want to follow me, that's cool. Just don't stalk me, please, because that's creepy. So that's all I have for this first review. Next one I'm going to do, I was probably going to be the first answer, depending if I still have the original copy or not. I might be lending it out, so if I don't have it, then I'll do another one. But I want to do answer, and I also want to do, there's a series called Snapshot, and I want to do those 2 for sure. So I'll do one or the other. Probably answer, but we'll see. So have a good evening, everybody. I hope you guys all had a fantastic day and are going to have a fantastic evening, depending on what time you watch this video. And that's all I have for now. So I will see you guys next time.